Welcome back to my channel, Classic Volkswagen Lovers, Junior with classic VW Bucks and Sonny the Super Beetle. Today I'm going to be working with the lower transmission support and transmission mounts for Sonny. One thing I have to do is take this lower mount here and wire brush it and spray paint it. Front mount for the transmission, this is the OEM that came with the car. It seems to be in very good conditions. However, I did buy from J-Bucks this transmission mount kit here. Allegedly, it's supposed to be an improved aftermarket version of it. But I did notice a few or slight difference between the front transmission mount and my OEM here. So I will have to figure out how all of this hardware in here, it's installed in this kit here to make it functional so that when I assemble it, I'll have a good fit with my transmission. I wanted to go over this here one more time and tell you why I'm gonna give it a try. So when I saw this online, I ordered it because it said it's an improved version, not to realize that this front mount here is slightly different than the OEM. So I called J-Bucks and they did gave me an RA number, an MRA number to return it back. But to return it back and get credit to my car, it costs $18, the least expensive shipment. $27 if I want to have it delivered in 2 days. So when you think about it, I paid $32 for it. It's not really worth it to actually return it. So I'm gonna give it a try and see how it works and how I can make it work. And I'll give you some feedback. But anyway, this is the urethane mount kit with the hardware. It's 00940-0. And the reason why first I thought about maybe sending it back was because somewhere in there I was reading a disclaimer, something that stated that this is not recommended for a daily driver. Now it kind of like contradicts itself because it's supposed to be an improvement to the OEM. So if it's not recommended for a daily driver, then I don't know really what to think. I like to drive my car. That's why I built my car. So when you think about it, in reality, my car is not a daily driver. It's more like a Sunday driver or a show driver kind of car. Or maybe one of those days that I just want to go around and show the car around. Because it at times becomes a subject of conversation with people when they see me driving it or stuff like that. This one is not ready to be driven yet, but I restore, I should say, a 1972 convertible Super Beetle in 2012, and that was the case. Once I figure out how to actually put the hardware together, and I'll give you some reviews in it. Okay, so this is the lower transmission support after rust treated. You can see where a lot of the rust was at right there. After I rust treated it, I rinsed it with some soap and water to neutralize the Rust-Oleum rust dissolver. So now a little bit of a primer and black spray paint, and we should be good. Again, now we're going to continue working with this lower transmission support. If you recall, the last time we were talking about it, it was all rusty and it needed some wire brush and spray painting. And so we did that. It's been a couple of days since I did that. So here it is. We're going to be installing a new mount here and here. I will share with you what the original ones look like. These are the original ones that I actually removed from it. They needed to be replaced, they were done. Now the front end transmission mount does not look as bad. To be honest with you, I think it's really nice for the age of it. And it looks pretty sturdy. It looks like it could be reused. So I'm gonna keep this one around. We're going to open this package here and try to figure out how all of this hardware here, it's assembled so that I can install these new guys here in this support here. So there are no instructions whatsoever with this upgraded transmission mount kit from EMPI. I opened the hardware package and I kind of like sorted out how I think that the bolts will connect with each mount. So let me show you that. So there are for each of these two guys right here. There are for each of these two guys. There's 8 sleeves like this. So basically what I did, I set aside 4 for this one here and 4 for this one over here. Then there are 2 of these here and 2 of these here. 4 nuts with the little dowel ring in it, and there are 4 sleeves and 4 big washers. So the reason I think that that's the way it goes, it's based on the design of the front mount and the fact that these washers pretty much slide in there. So that's that right there. Next, I'm going to figure out how the hardware connects into it, but from the looks of it, this will connect into the transmission in this fashion, and then this will rest over this mount like so. So I pretty much figure out how these actually go together, and I put them together, but I did find a flaw with these mounts, and you know, so much for being a upgraded kit. So if you remember, the kit comes with these little bushings or little sleeves that are supposed to go into these mounts. So the ones that are to the outer portion of the little mount, those work fine. You can see that the bushing actually slips through there. You got the hole, you got the little bushing, and that goes through there with ease, no problem. And then you put your bolt in it, and then you'll put a washer in the back, because these are the ones that will be mounting to the horseshoe support for the transmission. So now these here will actually bolt to this piece right here, and they will bolt through there. So it'll be something like that. Okay, now what's the issue I have with these here? So remember that the kit came with hardware and came with the exact amount of bushings that you will need to install this kit. Now, the problem I have found here now is that for this hole right here, where this bolt goes through with the washer, it's gonna be like that. This hole here is not wide enough for me to now push this little bushing through there. I can't even get it in by hand. it won't go in. As you can see, it won't go in. Okay, so, and you may be wondering, well, maybe you can just drill it out. But you know what? This is something you buy online from J-Box. It's supposed to be an upgraded kit. You should not have to be doing any type of modifications to this first. And second, the other problem that I see with this here is that the thickness of the wall right here, if you can see that, between this side over here where this ball is at, it's not thick enough, so you risk a chance that you might drill it out to fit this little bushing, but you may damage this support here. So what am I going to do? I am going to try and drilling it out. They are part of the kit and they are needed and they need to go in there. Hopefully in the process I will make a mess out of them. This transmission mount here is the one that goes towards the front of the nose of the transmission. Now if you look at the original transmission mount, has this little cone here that inserts into the chassis of the car, which by default it gives you an awesome alignment. If you think about it, when you compare this transmission mount towards this allegedly upgrade, this is really a downgrade on your end, because now once you put this in, you don't have an alignment for this. And then yes, people may say, well, you do have the other two bolts that will help you align it. But you know what, with wear and tear, those holes in your car where your transmission mount goes towards the nose of the transmission, they can wear out. And there's no guarantee that they are not. I guess that they should not be calling this an upgrade, just a replacement aftermarket part from EMPI. That's my personal opinion and I'm sticking with it. So I'm going to use them and see what happens, but next time that I purchase any transmission mounts, I will get the original ones, because I figure if this thing lasted over 40 something years, I mean, that's good enough. This probably will outlast me after I finish rebuilding my car. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and use that and see what happens. If I see that the performance is fine, I'll leave it as is for now. But eventually in the future, I will be replacing all of them for the original ones. Now I'm kind of like in a deadline where I want to get this car to where I can drive it, that I can check all of the mechanical things in it, like brakes and things like that, shifting the car. I still have to install in my transmission here the throwout bearing. I got a new clutch, I got a new starter, and then I also have to install the alignment bushing for the Bendix in the starter, so that when this solenoid kicks in and the Bendix in here goes out to engage with the flywheel, it's properly aligned. If you don't do that, if you have a worn out bushing, you get like a feeling like that your starter is going bad, because these starters that do not have a self-support mount in them, they have to be properly aligned to engage once you run power to them to engage in the flywheel. Just remember that. I'm also waiting on some new boots for my CB joints that I will be replacing. That way I'll put the CB joints in the transmission, and it would be easier for me to go ahead and do proper torque here. I'm also waiting on some new bolts that I ordered, and that's pretty much where I'm at with this transmission. Once I get this done, I'll be ready to install this guy here into the car. Okay, so let me tell you how I figure out how to fix the issue with this upgraded version, supposedly from EMPI that I purchased at J-Buck. So remember, this little hole right here was not wide enough to allow this little bushing to go through. So I measured the bushing, and the outside diameter of the bushing is 7/16. So I got myself a 7/16 drill bit with a cordless drill, and I drill it out, and now it works. So you can see that before it wouldn't go through, and now you can see that it's a perfect fit now. So it sliced in perfect. So that's how I got to fix that. So if you happen to have purchased this junk kit upgraded version from EMPI, then if you run into the situation where your little bushings are not going through, get yourself a 7/16 drill bit and drill them out. If you're not sure about it, just make sure you get yourself a piece of wood like this and drill your hole out before you damage your support. So that's how I double check and CYA cover my assets, right? To make sure that when I drill it out, it was gonna fit. So I drilled this piece of wood with the 7/16 drill bit first, and then I tried the little bushing in here, and it was a perfect fit. So that's how I realized it was gonna work. So that's it right there. Okay, next, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try and see how these mount. Remember that the sink hole here is for the fact that you have a bolt with a washer. That washer will go through there like so. That washer will go through there like so. And then you have your little nut over here with your little piece of Teflon or Delrin to make sure that it won't come loose. And that's how you get this problem solved. Okay, next will be to install these in the transmission, which I have sitting here in my table. I'll go ahead and install those and show you what they look like. And then these bolts right here go through there and attach in the transmission mount, and that will be ready to be installed. I got a new cone bushing coming for the transmission nose right here, and I also have a boot coming that it's going to go install over two things: the accelerator cable, I believe it is, and the clutch cable too. Those two things. But when I get ready to install this here, I'll make a video and I'll show you that. But next, what I'm going to do is show you where this transmission mount goes. So basically, you put the transmission mount like such right there, and then on the other side over here, you'll put these little nuts right here. It's very important that when you're assorting your kit, you make sure you select the right bolts to go up here. Now, once that's all threaded in, so that's your bolt right there. Notice how I'm gonna sit this by the side of it. It's almost the same height as your bolt. So make sure that when you are assorting these, that you select the right ones. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. For now, I'm just gonna snug them in. I'm not gonna tie them all the way in. So that goes right there. This one goes right here. Just put that right there. Also a reminder, make sure that when you're installing these, you put these in here in advance with the washers, with all the proper washers and the nuts, because if you don't, then you'll have a heck of a problem trying to get these in. So make sure you put these in here before, snug the the nuts in there to keep them in place, and then go ahead and proceed to install your supports in there. Once that's installed, then what's left to do is to go ahead and install this piece right here. So just be patient with it. You can see that you can play with it a little bit, and you'll be successful. So that's what it's going to look like once it's installed. So I'm just going to put one. I'm going to go ahead and put one bolt here to hold it in place for now. So I'm going to take this transmission and flip it around. So this is the OEM transmission mount. It's got like a little notch right here to clear for this here. So if we follow the direction of these and the position of these two bolts, and you're looking at your upgraded version, allegedly upgraded version support right here, then this support here goes in this direction, and then these two bolts right here will actually go through here. So let's go ahead and put a little piece of wood right here to perhaps maybe balance this a little bit, just like so. And let's go ahead and take this here, and again, just like so. You got this here, and you have this right here. So just to give you a sense of direction, so I'll go ahead and put these there as well. Okay, so from your hardware, for your transmission front mount, remember to take the two longer bolts right here and put them in the center holes right here. Then you can proceed to install it in place. And then you take these nuts here and just put it right there. And that should be a perfect fit right there in terms of size and length. Okay, so there we have it. So you can see how this has some play. I would highly recommend to make sure you have this properly aligned. Maybe put a mark or something before, so you know, just do a trial and error at the time that you're installing your transmission. I will do it myself, but for now I just wanted to show you where the mount goes, or you can use this machine etch right here and measure the distance from here to here and here and here and make that even, and that should be perfect alignment. All right, so that's it for right now. I'll go ahead and finish installing this, but pretty much I just wanted to show you what the upgraded version of the EMPI kit that I purchased at JBox looks like install and why I chose to go ahead and use it. So in all honesty, if you can go with the OEM, I would highly recommend you get the OEM. Again, my theory, it's based in the fact that this one right here also has an alignment cone in here that this here does not have. So when you talk about upgrades, you want to talk about something that it's either going to improve the size, form, and fit of the one that you have. And I don't think that this one here, in all honesty, does that in terms of alignment. Maybe material durability, perhaps, I don't know. But look, this thing here lasted 40 something years. So again, in the future, I won't use this here. I'm just sticking with it right now because the shipping to return it back, it's almost more than half of what I will be getting back in my car in a credit fund back, because the least expensive shipment to return this back to J-Bucks was going to be $18 minus 32, so I was going to get back only $12 to my car at the end of the day. So, you know, I guess you watch and learn sometimes, right? So there you go. That's it for right now. Until then, this is Junior with Classic VW Bucks. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Until then, Junior out.